Welcome to the Virtual Summit for Women. I'm super excited to have the opportunity to be part of this with Women's Empire and April Brzee. There's so much value you're going to find here in all the women who are participating. So take notes, put some of this stuff to action, find what's true to your heart and things that stand out to you and things that you know that will help you in your life. So for me, I'm Tracy Lindstrom. I am a macro mindset coach and also a coach for Women's Empire. I love to talk about the body. It is my favorite. So this topic, voltage in the body, I get super giddy and excited about it. First of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. So I grew up as an athlete, always loved to feel the adrenaline in the body when I exercised. I loved that after feeling. I craved that after feeling. It was always important to me to stay healthy and strong. One thing I lacked, though, not knowing as a young girl and into high school, was nutrition. I definitely did not fuel those workouts like I do now, and now that I understand. I did not have the full voltage in my body that was required for the activity that I was doing. So voltage in the body to me is no different than voltage in a car, or you have certain things in the car, wires and batteries and everything that are going to help that car run better. So even like wires that get dirty and not taken care of and cleaned, and the car runs different. So it's no different than our bodies. Our bodies have got to be specifically nurtured on a daily basis and taken care of. For me, as I grew up as an athlete, obviously I probably got away with that a little bit more as I was young, eating the way I did and exercising the way I did. But I did find myself tired a lot. I do remember, as a high school girl who didn't sleep as much as she should, exercised a lot, probably didn't fuel with the right food, I found myself tired and fatigued. And as I became a mom, I had 5 kids under the age of 5. So my body required a lot. So when we have babies, our adrenals are drained. Our adrenals sit right in the back, and they're just small, and they sit in our lower back. And those are super important, especially when you have babies. So when you have babies, those adrenals are pulled from. So when I'm giving the example of a car, the battery is like your adrenals, and this is all part of the voltage of your body to function every day. But I didn't know that back then. I think about it now and how I even functioned and how tired I was all of the time. I wish I knew then what I know now about the body and the adrenals and the support. So as I had babies and started to learn about the body, I actually got into personal training. I learned about how muscles work and how to build muscle, and knowing that muscle burns fat. I really got to learn that and experiment with my body and experiment with exercise. What exercise worked for me and what exercise didn't. And that was a lot of trial and error, I also got into owning gyms. So I had the privilege to work with a lot of women to see different body types, how they react, how certain workouts work better for them, how to fuel their body, adequate sleep. The big picture, the big picture of it is a pie. You've got this pie you need little slices in each piece of the pie on a daily basis to really get what you need for voltage. Now, why is voltage so important? Like, why is it really that important? For me, I can tell you the main reason I feel like, not only just for exercise and food and to feel better, but I feel like it's to be present. So if our bodies aren't ready to receive, and that's, receive, that can be lots of things. but even a lot of receiving from a higher power. For me, when I can receive from a higher power, then I'm so much better at showing up fully in my day, showing up fully with my kids, showing up fully with my clients. And it's really important to me. So that's really important to me that I show up. And that voltage, if I do not take care of myself and make sure I have that voltage daily, I feel kind of clouded. I don't feel fully present. I feel lacking. I feel all the words that we say, drained. I do feel that. And for me, it becomes more of something that's just really important to me. So it comes, what's your why? Like, why do you want to have voltage in the body? Because if your why isn't there, you're not going to do the daily things. You just aren't. So for me, the why is just how do I want to look back on my life? Do I want to look back and say that I lived a life that I showed up, or did I live a life disconnected? And that drives me. It really does, because you don't know how much time you have on this earth. You don't know, what's going to happen each day with the people you love. And I really want to be present. I feel like for me, I function better. I feel like as I take care of myself and show up fully for myself first, then everybody else benefits. My kids benefit, my clients benefit, everybody that I associate benefits from that. But if I'm constantly just giving, saving, then I'm not really fully doing the receiving and giving cycle. I want to be able to do both, and that's part of voltage. So voltage in the body is, I will just start with let's start with sleep. So voltage in the body, you have to get enough sleep to break down muscles and build them back up. You have to get enough sleep for cell development. You have to get enough sleep just for everything to be rejuvenated and functioning correctly. So sleep, usually 7 to 8 hours, is honestly a good, that's really pretty good for most people. I would say people that say they only need about 5, they're lying to themselves. I mean, statistically, there is a very, very small, I think it was when I read once, it was 5% of people that actually can go off of that. And what that means by that is just, it actually does take a certain amount of hours to be in a REM sleep to do all the stuff your body needs to do to recover. So you may be getting 5 hours of sleep and think you're functioning, but if you were to get 7 to 8 hours every night, you'd be surprised how different you feel. So that's something that is really important to me. And at times you're going to feel like, well, I just can't fit it in. My schedule's this, I have kids that, when your kids notice that it's a priority to you, they will start to honor that. They will. When they realize, mom just goes to bed. She knows she's tired, and it's just important to her. So this is something that you can start as an example to your kids. Obviously, if you have kids that are little, it's easier to get them to bed on time and things like that than teenagers, which is what I have. But my kids know that that's really important to me. So sleep, that is part of your voltage, a huge part of your voltage. Don't put it off, and don't think that you're that one, the 1% that doesn't need it. You need it. So that's one thing I wanted to emphasize is sleep. Also, the next thing would be, what do you do in the morning? So, and you can do these things anytime. And when I coach, I do coach on that. It doesn't have to be in the morning, but what I have found is when you do certain things in the morning and you're done with them, they give you that voltage, and you don't know sometimes what's going to come up in your day. So it's good to have a morning and night routine. So for me, meditation's a big deal. If you're going to meditate, that will bring you centered. So you're getting your mind right. You're getting your mind right to, go to the gym and do the things that you're going to do to prepare for your day. And meditation is many things. Meditation can be prayer. It can be guided meditation. Everybody meditates differently. I like to pray and do a guided meditation. Those are my two favorite. But remember, it doesn't have to look a certain way. Just show up and do it. But meditation in the mornings. And I love to journal. So why would journaling be voltage in the body? Because when you journal and you take it from here to a paper, it actually helps release stuff. And as you're releasing and processing, that opens up more things in the body that need to be there. So between prayer, journaling, and then we're going to get into exercise. That's another thing that I make sure I do mornings. And also my adrenal support. So I make sure I take care of my adrenals, get all that in, and I feel amazing when I do that. Now the mornings that I don't, I do drag a little more. I don't feel as connected. I feel like, I just feel like I missed something. It's just that kind of like, do I get through the day? Yes. But I like to show up fully. I like to have that inner stance and already have, when I journal, sometimes I'll write down I am statements. Sometimes I do a processing. So I'm finding the gift in my trials. I'm finding the purpose in things. I'm clearing that from our brains. So sometimes our brains are like computers. They're looking for answers. They want to feel settled on things. And so as we journal, as we find answers, we start to feel settled. And it's just an important part of that voltage. So for me, I start with those in the morning. The next thing is exercise. So this is what I love exercise. I love the gym. I do promote muscle growth. So muscle growth it's a must. Ladies, don't feel like you're gonna bulk. You have got to build muscle. Muscle is what burns the fat, and that's what you want. It's kind of like, I explain this a lot, like if you have an apple and let's say you put pieces of paper, like paper towels over the apple, that's the fat covering the muscle, but really it's not gonna bulk you. You peel off some fat layers and then you have this muscle, and that's where women say, I just want a little bit of toneness. Really that toneness is gonna happen through weights and muscle growth. So think muscle growth when you're exercising. Now, does that mean that you don't do other stuff? You need to stay active no matter what. So sometimes I have ladies that I'll just have them wear their watches and make sure they get 10,000 steps in if they're not going to get to the gym. That's really important. But the body requires, even like for your serotonin levels, it requires you to get exercise, start to breathe, start to sweat. There's so much that happens in that whole action of going and working out. That is actually where I get a lot of my answers. So as I exercise, a lot of times I will have my ahas. I actually like to go to the gym and get a lot of my business done on my phone because my mind works really well. So exercise can look lots of different ways depending on your body type. I will go over the body types just a little bit in this audio and give you a little bit, but probably not everything. If you fill out my application, we can get on a phone call and talk about your body type. But so if you there's 3 different body types. You've got ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph. So ectomorph, you are going to have maybe the thinner, long, lean. Sometimes we'll say that's the girl that doesn't put on weight, has a hard time. So she is going to definitely need to hit the weights, and probably a little bit more than meso and an endo, because she's gotta build that muscle, and it takes her body a little bit more to build. So that's gonna have to do with her food too. But she will not need as much cardio. You want cardio for your heart and just to feel good, but she will not, that body type will not need as much cardio, but definitely the weights. So mesomorph, I'm a little bit more of a mesomorph. That body type does build muscle a little bit quickly, but even with that, I can put on fat pretty quick, but I can bring it off too. So, and sometimes you're gonna be a combination, but with a mesomorph, what seems to work really good is the weights, but kind of doing back and forth, high rep, low rep, and a little bit more of the plyometric. So yes, I do love cardio. Cardio's great, and I need cardio, but my body does really well with throwing in some form of like a plyometric. So a plyometric could be something like jumping jacks or burpees in between when I'm lifting, and that seems to just work really well for mesomorphs. Now endomorphs, sometimes I think endomorphs get the bad rap, but in reality, they're a little bit curvier, and sometimes you would say that they put on weight quicker. But you know what? When those women get to their healthiest and they feel good, they've got that curve that other women wish they had. It's just funny. It's funny how we compare, which there's no need for that. Every body type is beautiful and has something to offer. So as you find what works for you and your body type, that gives you voltage. It gives you're working with your body specifically to give your body the voltage that it needs. I think at times we will take somebody else's plan and how they're getting results, and it doesn't work for us, and so we get frustrated. I've done this many times. The cookie cutter, maybe meal plan that, maybe you lose a little bit right at first and it worked for somebody else but not me. That's where I started to really try to learn to be in tune with my body. What does my body need? And that makes a big difference. That really does. So exercise. So we talked about that. And some days exercise is going to look like yoga. Sometimes that might just be rolling out your muscles with the foam roller. Now, I wouldn't suggest using that as an excuse. So sometimes it's like, well, I just didn't get the gym, so I rolled out every day. I would just say use that as a day that maybe you aren't feeling like you're not feeling good. You really aren't. Or, something comes up with your kids or something. Still try to do something with your body that you're having that contact and just getting the blood flowing and get the heart rate up just a little bit, and stay active during the day. So if that means you need to park further out, or while your kid has a soccer game, you're gonna go take some laps, whatever that means for you, do that. Do that. Just add in some extra steps and stay active. So that's gonna help with voltage and as part of the piece of the pie. So the next thing I want to talk about is nutrition. Nutrition, I love nutrition, not as much as exercise, but I know my nutrition. That's where macros come in. So macros are a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats. And depending on your body type, like we just talked about, you're going to require different percentages of your carbs, fats, and proteins. And it's really important, especially your protein, that you get what your body needs. And I take into consideration so many things. I take into consideration like your height, your weight, your activity level, your habits. When do you eat? What do you like to eat? How hard do you work out? How much do you sleep? I'm very personalized with it. So you could be in a calorie deficiency. So let's say you're only eating 1,200 calories and you lose weight. You're gonna lose water weight. You're gonna lose weight, but you're not gonna hold on to your muscle. And we already talked about muscle. How important is muscle? It's gonna burn your fat. So you want to eat enough carbs, fats, and proteins. So each of them are a little bit different. Like the ectomorph that we talked about, they can get away with a lot more carbs. They actually need those carbs. Meso, I feel like, is a little bit more evened, and the endomorph, they can't get away with as many processed carbs, or they really stick to more of the fruits and vegetables. And so we just kind of work with that, and I love it, because once you find what works for you, that food just fuels you. So if you get up in the morning and you eat something that doesn't fuel your body, you're starting your whole day off with like bad gas in the car. So we're sticking with this whole car analogy. Put the good gas in, and then every time you eat, think about that. One thing that helps me a ton is thinking about, how do I want to feel? It's not always how I want to look. Actually, anymore, it's more how I feel. Yes, there's times that I want to rock an outfit and all that. That's real, and that's okay. But the bigger picture is, how do you feel? How do you want to feel the next day? And as you do that with each meal, it's a slow process, each meal. Take a meal at a time. Don't think so far down. Just, how do I want to feel today? What have I done? What haven't I done? What's possible? And it's not going to look perfect. So food is just the source to make you feel good. It's going to be the source to your workouts. If you're not eating enough, you're going to feel like crap, and your workouts are going to feel like crap. Your hormones are going to be not working properly. So your adrenal support is going to affect your hormones, and we talked about making sure I take certain things each day for my adrenals, because they're the battery to your body. Like I already talked about that a little bit, but if your battery is not working, your car is not going to run. Your hormones will not be functioning correctly. You will not be sleeping good. You're going to be in overwhelm, and you're not going to know why. A lot of times, and sometimes it's that adrenal support. So between the adrenal support and the food and macros that fit your body, you can really start to feel good. And as you feel good, it's a trickling effect. Think about it. You feel good, you want to wear something that feels good, you show up more confident with your husband, with your kids, and people feel that. So, voltage in the body is a rippling effect for sure. The next thing besides food is, there's things that are like like we talked about, foam rolling and massages and maybe Reiki. Now, I understand that you can't constantly be paying maybe to do massage or do something else, but you can. But there are things that you can do. And like rolling is for sure one of them. Reiki is amazing. So I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I'm actually a massage therapist. So, but Reiki is going to help with your the energetic system in your body, and it helps just move your chakras, and it's there's like tons of benefits to Reiki, but it's part of the pie. Like for me, when people ask me about Reiki, I just say it's just part of your self-care. It's something that it's not the fix-all. Massage isn't the fix-all. You can't just eat one salad and you're fixed. You can't just go do one hard workout. Okay? These are all things that will create voltage in your body. One thing that I love to coach is do what's required. No matter your emotion, thoughts, feelings that day, you just do what's required, because motivation is crap. If you just wait till you're motivated, you're like motivated. For me, I will say I love to exercise, but for most people, the motivation to go put on, maybe my motivation to be a new pair of leggings or something. So now and then I feel a little more motivated, but motivation's fleeting. You'll feel motivated to do things for a while, and then your daily practice and habits is what is going to lead to your ultimate results. And having the body fully functioning at its full capacity, which I think very rarely does that happen with most people. I can honestly say that. And the reason is sometimes we don't know how it feels. You don't know how something feels because you get settled in your ways. Sometimes we become complacent, and we don't know how good it can be on the other side until we're willing to put in that work. And as you start to get just little wins, like little wins each day, and you start to maybe feel a little better, your clothes fit a little looser, you have more energy, you're more connected, thoughts come into you quicker, you're more inspired, you don't want to go back. So I can promise you this: as you start to live these different ways and start to commit, live your commitments, make commitments and live them. As when you coach one-on-one with me, we go through commitments, daily commitments and weekly and monthly and 90-day commitments, so that you have an action plan. Metrics matter. What are you doing? How are you getting there? What steps require you to get to that result from A to B to C to D? That is important. So I love the body. I love God gave us this beautiful body to come get us through this earth life. It protects our soul. We should really value it and love it and treat it as important, because God created it and he gave it to us, and we're still walking every day. We're walking on this earth, and it's working for us. So I love what I do. I love the fact that I can help somebody come to center and come into their bodies and feel comfortable and not feel like they want to have a different body. Have that. And that comes down to self-worth too. Voltage in the body will lead to self-worth. It will help you lead to self-worth, because you will know who you are because you feel it. You're not masking. If you keep masking with so many things that we mask with because we don't want to feel, right? If we stop masking, we show up for ourselves, we stop making excuses, and we have that full voltage in our body, you will change. I promise you, your life will change, and it's worth it. So if you are interested in working with me, I provide the macronutrition, like I talked about. I provide an exercise app, and I also provide one-on-one coaching. The one-on-one coaching is amazing. We coach in, I coach in 5 different areas of your life that, kind of just like we talked about, the piece of pies that you need to have your full voltage in your body and your life. Just fill out the application. So there's a link in the below, and you can just fill out that application, and we will get on a phone call, and we'll chat. That's a free consultation call, and we'll see what works for you specifically and your body type. So I hope you found a lot of value out of this today. I love you. I do. The fact that you take the time to take care of yourself and listen to these audios, and you care about your body, that says a lot. So have a wonderful day.